All right, everybody, welcome back to another This Week at Bungie, aka the TWAB, and we are back with Week 11. And back with us
Yiller.
is G3 Tyrant. He is back once again, no
Oh,
longer
I am so
sick.
happy to be back. Missed all y'all. That vaccine was a kick in the ass, but I'm happy to be back.
We're happy to have you back. Was not the same without you. Just me
Mhm.
talking to myself.
It felt funny just listening to you still. Like I was there laying in bed dying and I was just like, hey, this guy actually did pretty well, but it sounds weird.
Yeah, we need that back and forth.
Yeah, I feel you.
Let's start things right off though. Festival of the Lost has concluded, and Lord Saladin is back with some Iron Banner, which means Trials is not here this week. Quick update on the Iron Banner. When they initially launched it, the new set was not running. The Iron Forerunner set was not glowing as intended, and it now glows with a fiery glow for Iron Banner, which is very cool. So be sure to check that out, whether you're wearing the armor or you're just using it as a synth weave to apply the cosmetic. It's there.
My only issue with that is like why only Iron Banner weekends though? It should just glow forever.
I agree.
Like I just don't understand why they take that route. Like just make it glow.
I
It's not
guess
that
they're kind of
serious.
going for the trials thing where it only glows for the weekend and then it diminishes if you don't go flawless and whatnot. But
All right, but like tie it to like maybe like win 20 matches of Iron Banner or something. I don't know. Make it worth my while to keep it glowing. I don't want it to just glow for a week and then I'm just like, well, I'm taking this off. I don't want to wear this anymore.
yeah, I hear you.
Because in all honesty, I'm not gonna lie, the armor set doesn't look that great as is, so it could use all the help it can get.
Yeah, it's an okay looking set with some shaders. I'm sure it makes something nice looking, but yeah, it's at least something cool to have more people have glowing armor. Glowing armor is always something people like. So
Yeah, I mean, I went back to my Solstice gear since we stopped playing Trials. So,
yep, yeah. See, glowy gear is the way.
hmm
Last week, they tried to make some trials changes in matchmaking. They shifted a system that put focus on overall wins, pushing players into different buckets depending on how much they had played and won on a given weekend. While they are incredibly happy with the amount of data that they were able to collect, the matchmaking system did not meet the goals that they had established last Thursday, as they continue to hone in on what settings they would like for trials overall, and they appreciate all those who've been hoping for a few cards and sounding off with feedback, or sorry, hopping in for a few cards and sounding off with feedback, and pairing data with player feedback and experiences is key to their continued success. So whether you did like it or not, it is very imperative to just to get known to Bungie in a nice way. You don't need to like portray it rudely or anything, but like just constructively convey your criticism with the trials and the problems you had with it, so then they can work with it, because there were a lot of people having problems with trials last week, and Twitter was an absolute bloodbath, and people were going off very quickly and very early into trials.
yeah, I
So
mean, I was fine with it being for one weekend, right? Because that was what it was in my head. I was like, okay, they're just gonna try this for one weekend and they're gonna revert it back. And then I went to Trials Report, and they doubled down saying that this is going to be the standard going forward until season 15, 16 or 15. Season 16?
15, I would imagine.
15. Thank you. Witch Queen season.
Yeah.
That they wouldn't revert the changes until we get there. And I was just like, well, okay, well, just, that's fine. Just put a Warcliff coil right to Trials' chest and just unload, because that's what you pretty much did. You killed the playlist.
Yeah.
So I was a little scared at that, and I was pretty upset because, again, I was even contemplating, because we did give up Trials that weekend. Okay, I can go help one of my clanmates and maybe make him help him get flawless. But once I saw that change, I was like, I'm not doing that to myself. And he already had like over 10 wins, so it was just not even worth doing.
Yeah. It didn't. It made it for the very casual players who I feel like they're trying to help the most. Like you got like we people as players, we need to understand here. Not everyone can go flawless. It is was meant for the pinnacle of players, and it was meant for like the sweaty PvP, or not even necessarily just the sweaty PvP, just the people that are good in general at PvP. with the right team and the right setup, could go flawless. They changed it around a bit, and they've made it a bit more accessible for casual players to get there now. But the players that aren't good at PvP, it's going to be very hard for you to get there, and you have to put some expectations in for yourself that it's just might not happen unless you have two other really good players to help take you there. And with this change this week, they really hurt the casuals, because the casuals generally go 3 wins, you get a loss or so, you got to reset your ticket. Maybe you get 4 or 5 wins, you lose again, you got to reset your ticket. Now you're at 8 or you're at 7 wins, you're at 9 wins, and you're already playing somebody that has now gone flawless, say, and has won 9 in a row, and they're on their 9th win as well, or now their 10th match or what have you. And they ended up inadvertently making it harder for the casuals, which I don't think is what they had intended to do, but it's what happened. And the people that are really good at the game, regardless, they're going flawless every week. It doesn't matter what really Bungie changes, they're still going to go flawless. So,
and I mean, that's agreed upon. Like, they're not going to, for whatever reason, just not go flawless that weekend. It might be a little harder for them to do it, but they're going to get there. So I don't feel like there was any real reason to change week 1's matchmaking, at least week 2's matchmaking, because that's when we were introduced to the flawless pool. And granted that, like, when we go flawless ourselves, general consensus is, I know that you Hydration, you continue to play. I just given my ticket. I don't even want to bother. Like, it's just a massive headache. It was already hard enough to get flawless. Now you want me to try and grind the weapons after flawless? No, I'm good. I don't want to go through that stress. So, again, like, I'm not here saying by any means like I'm some super pro player or whatever. I'm a hardcore Destiny player, but I will say that, like, you know, the reason why week 1 worked so well was like the matchmaking that we had in place at the time is kind of what we have going forward, and B, there was no flawless pool, so it was more or less along the lines it was just like accessible on all fronts. Granted that the casual player now might run into a flawless player because there is no pool set for them. I just feel like, you know, that should just come with the territory, man. Like, I mean, when we had to try and grind Not Forgotten and Luna's Howl in the competitive playlist, they didn't separate anybody. If you ran into that team and you were a Fabled, well, good luck to you. You're gonna run into Frostbolt. You're gonna run into Astacross or True Vanguard and these guys. Like, it's just gonna happen. There's no reason to separate that, because now we're chasing pinnacle of the pinnacle of weapons. So why make it harder? Why punish me for going flawless? And I mean, again, for the casual player who goes flawless or who got carried to get to flawless, now they have no chance surviving in the flawless pool unless they play with the same guys that they were running with. Now it's all luck.
Exactly.
So I just feel like that's why week 1 worked. Granted, again, like, you're gonna run into opposing flawless players in the playlist, but I'm just saying, you know, there was a reason why the uptick on people who went flawless was so high.
Yes, exactly. So it's the same kind of system they have now, but they're reverting back to the card base. It would just be without the flawless pool. And I know they're worried about people resetting cards and kind of like going to 6 and resetting and going to 6 and resetting and not going into that flawless because they're doing their carries. But in reality, that's not a lot of the players. So, and exactly like you said, if you happen to run into a flawless team that goes flawless all the time and this is what they do, and you get stomped, that's part and parcel of playing trials. Unfortunately, it's going to happen. Sometimes you're going to get stomped. Like,
there's no reason to try and avoid it. Like, again, like, even for us, like, currently, like, I would say if we really wanted to go flawless, like, I'd wait until Sunday or Monday.
Yeah.
Where I know, okay, everybody's transitioned into the flawless pool. Now, guess what? Every other player who's at least above average in this game is going to do that to you. It doesn't increase your chances of going flawless. So, the way I see it, play week 1 matchmaking system. If it has to be card based, make it card based. I don't really care. But all I'm saying is, even after those players go flawless, guess what? They can help carry you go flawless without having to be forced to play other flawless players. Mm-hmm. You're not stuck there with them. and if we're talking about accessibility, what's more accessible than that? And then secondly, you guys are and for those who do play solo, you're guaranteed the freelance playlist. It was so successful. It's coming.
Yeah,
So
they had a lot of success with it, they said. So it I do feel like that will be back to hang around before Witch Queen comes back. I feel like it'll just be its own node and kind of hang out there for
yeah,
at least I would say maybe in the by the December update potentially with the 30th
yeah.
anniversary update, maybe then they'll add that in and they can
And
have it in for like a
that's
month or
all I'm
two.
saying, man. That's all I'm saying. Y'all think you know you want the flawless pool. At least some of the casuals might think you want flawless pool. You really don't.
Yeah.
You really, really don't.
And I know it's like, oh yay, we're going back to the flawless pool now because of the disaster of last week. But again, it was just a test. And this is what they've said that they're going to be doing. They're testing stuff each week, and they have the ability to just flip the switch. They tested it, it didn't work. They admitted it didn't work, and they're like, all right, we're going back until we find something that works. So, and I commend them for that. I like that they're willing to test something and then be like, you know what, we were wrong, it didn't work. We tried it, but we're going to go back for now until we figure out something. So like they are working. It's just it's Charles has always been a tough pickle to crack, you know. So
I honestly believe the reason why Trials is going to struggle the way that it struggles, we don't have pinnacles and competitive playlists, and that's where all the tryhards used to go.
hmm. Yeah,
That's where all the sweats used to be. Because again, a guy who goes flawless, he's gonna get the god roll of the messenger and all those other things. So he has no reason to go there anymore once he gets it. Same thing with us. I'm honestly just waiting for the messenger weekend. That's it. I don't care about anything else. I got a good Shirai's Wrath.
yeah. We've gotten flawless on all the maps. We've gotten the thing ticked off for the triumph. We've got like we've gotten the all the different adept weapons, whether or not we got the best roll on them or not, but and we got a few
And
of
that
the
and
adept
that,
mods
for us
now.
that's
So
neither here or there. Yeah. So
yeah,
so for us that's neither here nor there, right?
yeah,
And we can still
exactly.
grind adept mods playing grandmasters.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, it doesn't really matter at this point. With I think where PvP continues to at least struggle is just there's no true competitive playlist. Like everything in Destiny is just such a. It's either you're gonna make it super accessible for everybody, and the tryhards get upset because it's like we worked hard to get there, and now you're making it harder for us to continue to stay at the top and farm maybe the weaker players or whatever the case may be, right? And then you know there's just not enough loot in the PvP and ecosystem to go around and say like, all right, like this is the pinnacle of this, so let's go chase that this week instead of because it's Solaris Scars the sword. I don't need that sword. I'm gonna stay in competitive this week and
Yeah.
just continue to grind my ranks so I can get whatever gun is associated to the week.
Yeah.
And
I
again,
agree.
it always boils down to again like if we're playing end game PvP content, we have three modes: competitive, trials, Iron Banner. Each of these playlists needs something. Where competitive had pinnacles, trials has adept weapons, Iron Banner has to have just god rolls upon god rolls of things, like or adept weapons as well. Like I don't know, they all need to figure something out for these competitive playlists.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree. I think they need to bring like those unique weapons back, like they had before. Like they had the point of the stag for Iron Banner, which is still a fantastic bow. So if they bring back something like that, that's worth chasing. Um, but obviously we need more than one kind of idea. But like the the,
Yeah.
the weapons that they've been dropping have been okay. Some of them are alright. Like the peace bond is good with, but like more stuff like that with good roll combinations. Yeah, so it is more worth kind of going through. With trials this last weekend, not the overall gameplay was down, or games played was down by 33%, which is a lot. That is a lot.
That's a big drop.
Yeah, and blowout rates went up to 28%. I think they were at around 25 or so percent last week. So obviously, it just goes to show that what we said, it just did not work. They mentioned here solo play went up a bit and fire team play went up a bit, but nonetheless, it was not what they wanted. While there are some positives, most of the data is either negative or neutral. So combined with this feedback from social media channels, they've moved back to purely card-based matchmaking with a flawless pool for the foreseeable future. And they say to tune in next week to a Trials Lab pre-brief and details on some other plans they have for the mode between now and the Witch Queen. So when Trials returns next week, for next week's TWAB, it looks like we're going to be getting another Trials Lab. So that could either just be another, it's going to be a new test mode, something else that they've cooked up that they want to throw in, like they had the flags captured the one time, and then they had the solo list. So someone else will be up for grabs. Whether or not that just means that they're bringing back the solo list as well, we don't know. But it looks like for now, it is just going to be the flawless pool with card based until potentially at least Witch Queen. So
yeah, and again, like, I hate to just continue this trials conversations for so long, but if they at least had something where it was like actual rank. And I'm not talking like your Guardian, Fabled, Legend, whatever rank. I'm talking like an actual rank associated to your PvP stats,
like a
wins,
leaderboard.
losses. Yes, if you actually had something of that nature to at least keep players in a certain threshold, and I know that divides the pool even more so than anything else in the world, and it's going to make it really, really hard for players to matchmake, and it might make queues a little bit longer. I'm just saying it worked for Halo all these years. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you guys created the system of the number system back in Halo 3, and it worked flawlessly. Like, you were only going to match with certain players unless they were in a party of those players. Then the number gets bumped up because you are with people that of a higher number threshold.
Mm-hmm.
So all I'm saying is maybe that's something you guys could look into. We have more than enough players inside Trials to make that work, in my opinion. It's just one of those things where I just feel like we should at least give it a try and see if it works, because at least then the casual players will be more incentivized and we won't have as many blowouts, because it's like, well, you guys are portioned according to your rank and your stats, so there's no reason for anyone to get blown out.
Mm-hmm.
And if you choose to play with a fire team, and I guess like the ranking system works more for the solo guys than anything else, but if you do choose to play with people who are ranked, then the system averages itself out by saying, okay, like, you got your rank 20, but you're playing with two rank 50s, so we're gonna have to scale it to them, and you're forced to be playing with them.
Mm-hmm.
So that I don't know. I'm sure. I'm no game developer and I'm no matchmaking dude, but I'm just saying, like, there's got to be something else than what we have now.
Yeah, but I agree. We need something to change. Like similar to like a skill based matchmaking thing, but like, yeah, it's somebody that has a negative kill death should never go against like a true Vanguard type of caliber player. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They should never match. Period. And with the way that there was last weekend, there was a chance of that. So it's there needs to be some sort of like threshold put in place that prevents stuff like that. Again, yeah, I'm not a developer either. I don't know how easy it is just to implement something like that, but there has to be something else that they can do. But I think we've talked about Trials quite a bit for now. I think we can move on
for
here.
sure. Especially since we got a big one next week. So
yeah, moving on here. Bungie Bounties are back. If you don't know what these are, it is an emblem that you can get if you happen to match with or against one of these selected players that they have mentioned down below. If you are on a team with them and you win, you will end up getting the emblem. I don't know. It'll be granted to your account. I don't know how quickly it gets granted to your account, but it will be granted to your account. And if you happen to match against them, if you defeat them, you also get the emblem. So congrats to either, or if you happen to stomp them or party with them. There's bounty is available worldwide with numerous participants from regions around the globe. Below, we will have a variety of bounty tables with targets, dates, times, and the platforms that they will be on. They highly recommend joining these streams to meet the targets, as well as have some fun in their chats. As a note, this bounty will also be split between Crucible and Gambit. So each participating community member will announce which mode they're playing at the top of their playtime, so tune in to find out. I'm not going to go over every single player listed because there's players from all around the globe, and I have a very strong feeling I'm going to butcher a bunch of these names. So I would rather not butcher people's names, especially if they're well-known streamers. Like I recognize a bunch of the names here, but nonetheless, I'll leave a link in the description to the TWAB. I'll also put the emblem up on the screen so you guys can see what it looks like. It's pretty cool. It almost looks like an Olympic kind of thing going on. But yeah, there's different ones. There's for North America, UK, France, Germany, Italy, Spain, Nordics, Poland, Russia, Middle East, APAC. So to check the listings here to see when it's going to be available for you, and good luck emblem hunting, Guardians.
I just remember when Bungie did that back in D1 year one, and it was so unfortunate because like I remember waking up that morning saying I'm gonna hunt these guys down and literally wreck them, and then to find out they don't play Xbox 360 Destiny 1, they were only on PlayStation. I was so heartbroken.
Yeah, I remember they used to be like that, and then for a while it was even almost PC only, and it's just like, well, hold on here. What happened to the console, friends?
I was just like, I thought we were a community, you know? Like,
yeah.
What happened?
Well, I do like that there's that they had the different ones there between console and PC. So, earlier this week we have Heroes Welcome. They posted on social media, do you have a fond memory of time with you or your fire team, or when a fire team member saved the day to stop you from wiping from a nightfall, or something amazing happening in Crucible, like a massive kill streak that saved your team from a loss? Gambit up for grabs too, whether a team is melting the boss or taking out an invader. Whatever the story is, all heroes are welcome. So send them a clip with it, and they would love to see your stories of heroes. Make sure to add hashtag D2 Hero Stories to your tweet, and if you have videos, screenshots, or art, be sure to include them. I'm not sure if this is going to be added to anything per se, but you never know. And stuff like this always gets done in the future. Like the fashion weeks have all of a sudden evolved into a magazine now, so you never know where this stuff may go in the future. So definitely go and throw in some of your heroic moments. I definitely got to take a look through some of our clips. I'm sure we got some stuff, whether it be a heroic moment or something a little funny. I'm sure we got something.
Indeed.
We got some new Prime Game rewards. With some we got a new emote, Sparrow, Ghost, and a ship. So, and it looks like they are adding another member of the community. So they are on a 2 TWAB streak. Last week, Hippie joined the ranks to help bolster the efforts in serving a worldwide community. Today, they're introducing us to Sam, also known as Queen Bartley, in many social spaces. Although her home is state and cold and dark, her heart is warm as ever, and she will be tackling feedback, writing bugs and blogs, and doing all things that you'd expect from a community team. She goes on here to say, hello, Guardians. Her name's Sam, and she is excited to be the next Guardian joining the Bungie community team. Bungie captured her gaming heart back in 2001 with Halo and helped introduce her to so many incredible humans, including her best friend and her husband. Her job here is to share your thoughts, dreams, and ideas with the team and tirelessly search for ways to convince the dev teams to use some space magic to put my full auto Hawksaw from Destiny 1 in my vault.
That's hilarious.
She's very excited to be here, whether it be in the tower with the dance party or on the fire team if you're reviving me for the 30th time in the Corrupted. Haven't we all been there? Warlock Jesus. Main, not sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry.
You should be sorry and ashamed of yourself.
I'm so sorry, Queen Bartley. When you
Titan's over here,
yeah.
except for his hydration.
You know, I'm all about the movement. So as soon as you fall off the map, it's a wrap. The Warlock got no chance.
Yeah,
So,
y'all don't got no hops.
I'm sorry. They do have wicked abilities, so I'll give them that. It might be a bit before she writes her first TWAB. She already has some advantages in how much time she spends in the Destiny and in the community. If you see her on a patrol, don't hesitate to emote and give her a warm welcome. It bears repeating, Cosmo and DMG are not going anywhere, and they're excited to double their team in size to tackle these challenges. Moving on, we got some hotfixing to do. As we know, hotfix 3.3.1.3 came out on Tuesday, November 9th. Oh, sorry, it has not come out. This is scheduled for November 9th. I was like, November 9th? That's not November 9th
I like
yet.
November 9th.
It's like, hold
bro.
on.
I'm like, what are you saying?
Yeah. This will be scheduled for November 9th. It'll be happening in the morning. Maintenance expected to conclude at 10 a.m. Pacific, and players will be removed and brought offline at 5:45 a.m. Pacific. If you happen to be up at that time, but nonetheless, it'll be going offline for a few hours, and then it'll be back once the update is out, as it usually does. With an addition to hotfix 3.3.1.3 taking extended downtime, they'll also be taking extended downtime on November 16th and November 30th. So just a heads up, Destiny will be down for a little bit longer than usual at those times. So usually they're only down for like 2 or 3 hours, but it looks like they're down for like 3 hours and 15 minutes this time. So it doesn't look like it's that much longer anyways. So
Yeah, it's not that serious.
some known issues that we have here is the points from the boosted Vanguard 5 streak aren't consistent, going back and forth between 269 and 270. Telesto's bolts sometimes stick around after detonating, allowing them to detonate again. Good old Telesto. Just never quits.
Good old Telesto the besto.
Never quits. Some players can't equip Year 1 faction ornaments that were turned into universal ornaments because they didn't reach the proper rank in the season the ornaments were earned in. That's interesting.
That sucks.
Yeah. Polish players are getting confused and using the Frenzy perk with the Rampage spec weapon mod because we didn't update the Rampage spec mod title with the new name for the Rampage perk. Oops.
Wow.
The Cosmodrome Patrol bounty has a misspelling of Cosmodrome in the description. Classic. Fog on the Widow's Court Crucible map appears differently for players. I haven't noticed anything myself.
I haven't noticed anything, but we haven't played in quite a long time, so.
The Iron Banner sigil from the Forerunner armor didn't light up in flames when used on Trials of Osiris armor. And the
Okay.
We Are Enough triumph doesn't unlock for players who complete Override Last City. So just some of the issues that they have. And if you are having any more, please do report them to the help forum or go to the known issues article. As we move on, they have the movies of the week, which are always fantastic. Looks like we got some here starring the corrupted Grandmaster Nightfall from last week, or I guess from this week, which is, no, it would have been last week, which was definitely a tough one. Then we have the artists of the week, as we usually do, with some absolutely beautiful art. As a freaking sweet looking Savathun Witch Queen one there, Sister of Shapes. Definitely check out these. And as a signing off note here, last thing they want to mention, few people reminded us that our 30th anniversary pack and new Slick Hunter set with the yellow beanie, yes sir, I'm excited for the beanie, is releasing in less than 5 weeks. It's already November. They said it feels like just yesterday they were stuffing bread into their mouth for charity, and that was ages ago. The next few jobs should be a fun time. They'll have a lot more details upcoming on the Trials Lab, a kickoff of sandbox conversations in preparation for the December patch. But until next time, they said there'll be Captain Zones and Iron Banner. See you in the wild. Alright. So it was a bit of a juicy one. Again, these always are a bit more juicy when we have trial stuff to talk about, because there's always a lot to talk about with the trials. So, but aside from that,
Let's face it, we are mostly a PvP first type of guys, so.
well, you are, like, I am.
At least I am.
I'm main PvE, but like, there's, aside from the Iron Banner and whatnot, there's not a whole lot kind of happening right now. So
Yeah.
until that 30th
Okay.
anniversary. So.
Which I am not playing.
I I'll be getting it, so I'll be sure to let everybody know how it is and how strong the yellow horn is. Once again,
It's gonna be strong. There's no debating that.
it better be.
You can't make Gallowhorn weak. Like that's not a possibility.
Yeah, I know. My only thing is, if it's too strong, it's 100% behind a paywall. So, all right,
Hey
we're gonna
man,
get that
that's
pay to win conversation all over again with
that's
it.
what
So
that's the direction they want to take. My only thing is like I get it. Like your company, you want to make money and whatever. But if this is like a 30th anniversary celebrating Bungie as a company and whatever, why make us pay into that? I thought this was a celebration, not a BYOB type of party.
yeah,
So
and
I
the
just think that's
price
a
is a
little
bit
messed up.
much. I mean, it's just for this one 30th anniversary event where you get access to, I guess, an additional dungeon. Like, I know one dungeon is free, and then there's another one or another 6-man activity that's behind the paywall along with the Gallahorn and, like, the Gallahorn Sparrow and all that. But it's just a little it's like it's basically what we'll call like a Halloween event in terms of event is what I'm assuming it's going to be. I'm assuming it's not going to be absolutely massive, and you're asking for $30 for that, which is double, which is basically 2 seasons worth of content, which is generally 6 months worth of content.
And and on my opinion, you're not cramming that much into it. You're really not.
No, so I don't understand how they can justify asking 2 seasons worth of money for the, especially to celebrate an anniversary. Like the seasons, I completely understand paying, like, yeah, the $15, especially the seasons now, because they're absolutely incredible with what goes into them. But like seeing how much goes into them for $15, and then you're gonna charge me $30 for the rocket launcher and a dungeon. It's just confusing. I don't quite understand
Honestly,
the
everybody
price point
blamed
on it.
Activision, but it seems like it didn't make much of a difference.
Not for
Eververse is
this
still as
one.
powerful as ever, and
No, this one's all on Bungie.
microtransactions still all there. So you guys need to understand something. Like Eververse is here to stay. Big prices are here to stay, and it's not going to change unless we all stop buying silver, which will never happen. So it is what it is, I guess.
Yep.
Hate it or love it, this is what we're in. So
Yeah. Exactly, and it's exactly that. It's if Bungie wouldn't charge $30 unless they knew people would pay the $30, and while I don't agree with it, I'm still spending it because I want to get the Gallahorn. So I too am part of the problem here. I am, because I do agree. Like I said, like it's a bit too much, but I still do pay it, and I'm not one to like not buy it because I'm trying to put my foot down kind of idea. So
well, again, honestly, like the other thing that kind of makes me upset is like we went back from the Fellwinter's Lie situation with FOMO. Guess what? You're gonna create FOMO with Gallahorn now,
the
right? The
most
fear of
popular
missing out.
gun in all of Destiny history.
And it's just like, people want to get their hands on, including myself. I would do anything to get my hands on it, but I mean, to you, $30 isn't a lot of money. To me, that's too much for just that. Like, you got to be
Mm-hmm.
packing. Like, if I'm paying $30, I want Gallahorn, I want Twilight Garrison, like, you know what I'm saying? I want a whole bunch of exotics, a slew of Titan exotics coming back. I want Gallahorn there. I want a new dungeon, and hell, I don't care. I want a new raid if I'm putting $30 down.
I agree. So I mean, like, I understand them charging for it, but I do think the 30 is too much to ask. And while, yeah, the 30, again, like you said, the 30 to me isn't
Like
too much, and I'm going to pay it. That's fine.
15 bucks
it's not for
15
everybody.
bucks makes sense. Like,
15
okay,
makes
make it
more
like
sense.
$5 more than the regular season because you are adding a dungeon and we are getting a new exotic and whatever. Fine, 15 bucks, whatever.
Yeah.
But 30 bucks? Come on, man. Who you playing? Not me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not me. I'll tell you that right now. Not me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're even lucky right now. I'm still on the fence with this deluxe edition for Witch Queen and that whole fiasco.
Oh,
As my brother Hydration continues to convince the entire clan why it's worth doing.
I broke it down, and it is worth doing. Like you said, it's It's $100, with like $120 for the deluxe edition for 12 months of content. That's $10 a month. Think about
But
how much
I
you're
haven't.
playing it.
But
Are you
I'm
playing
just saying,
Destiny
like
every
my
single
only.
day? You playing it for hours on end every day?
But my only thing is this is like, again, like, yes, I play Destiny every single day right now, but with Halo Infinite coming out, that's going to change drastically.
Well,
So
that's a whole other topic. So, yeah, that's
yeah,
definitely not a topic
I could go on.
today.
We can go on a tangent with
Yeah.
this for sure, but I think we should chill out.
Yeah, we're already up to 35 minutes here, and that'll be a whole other can. So we'll save that for another one.
For sure.
All right, everybody. I think we'll wrap it up here. Hope you guys have enjoyed TWAB once again. This is TWAB 11 on November 5th. Actually, it would have come out yesterday on November 4th, but we were recording this on the 5th. So, hope you guys have enjoyed. Have yourselves an absolutely wonderful day, and as always, stay hydrated. I am G3 Hydration.
G3 Tyrant.
Take it easy.
Peace.